This is Mozzcast. I'm Anarchy. I'm with Rob Moz, and we have a special guest, Justin from FARPOINT. What's going on, Justin?
What's up, guys? I couldn't wait to get on this. I've been loving the previous cast. I couldn't wait to be a part of this.
Thank you. We're excited to have you, sir.
Yes, definitely hunted you down, man. We wanted you on this, and I'm glad you wanted to be on it.
Yes.
Yes.
And a big G.I. Joe guy too, right? So you're one of the biggest G.I. Joe guys that I know.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of us out there, and it seems like it's a new right now. It's like a new hot time for G.I. Joe in general. So there's a lot of G.I. Joe collectors right now.
Yes, and that's a good segue into what we're going to talk about. G.I. Joe Classified, right? So Hasbro was talking about a 6-inch line for a couple years, right? There was rumors about a 6-inch line going around on the internet, and they finally said we're making a G.I. Joe 6-inch line called G.I. Joe Classified.
I gotta say, I feel like they listen to fans, because if you go back and pay attention to the Legends guys, those 6-inch collectors were always saying, "Oh, do G.I. Joe 6-inch." I don't remember Hasbro saying anything early on, but I definitely remember fans clamoring for 6-inch G.I. Joes.
Yeah, I always heard that they were waiting for the right moment with it. They could have did it years ago, but they wanted something to support the line, like a movie or something to that aspect. Yeah. And movies are dead.
Other than the Chinsey video game, I haven't played it, so maybe I shouldn't
either. Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah.
So and these I think they're mostly based stylized wise on the video game, or at least early on they were, like the first wave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what you're saying? The first wave that they released.
Yeah, I think the early guys, with the shiny metal boots,
they
throwback G.I. Joe. They kind of had like a new style, and I think that's supposed to be based on the game. I didn't play the game.
Right, I haven't played the game either, but so let's start with that wave 1, right? So about, I'm going to say between May of 2020 to August 2020, wave 1 hit, and I didn't see wave 1 that much. I saw wave 1 one time in my Target, and the boxes were crushed.
That's why you've seen them then.
Yeah.
Sealed case.
Sealed case.
Not sealed. Well, so we were on it early because obviously we have a retail store. Rob knows, I'm partners with his brother. Obviously we have a retail store, so of course we hit our distributor up immediately when they said 6-inch Joes were coming out, because I didn't want to miss out on. So
right.
I got a case of wave 1 early on, and I got to be honest, personally, the first couple figures, I was very disappointed at first.
Me too. Very disappointed. The weapons, the painting aspect of it. It was there with the style was kind of there. It was kind of like, I like Duke, but I hated the weapons. I hated the paint. Roadblock. Oh my God, man.
Yeah,
I don't even know what they
I actually have Roadblock on my desk. So there's the crappy futuristic gun that he comes with.
Terrible. And like the shiny shin guards. So when in 2007, when the 25th anniversary Joes hit, it blew my mind. It got me back into collecting everything.
Mine too.
Started the whole thing. And those figures were so perfect. The articulation, they were modern versions of the 3 3/4. So in my mind, the best thing for Hasbro would have done is to take those 4-inch guys and just scale them up to 6-inch, and boom, home run.
It would have been.
Right?
Yep. I remember walking into a KB toy store and seeing the 25th anniversary hanging on the pegs, and I wasn't really into toys that much. Like you said, it brought you back into collecting. So when you walk into a store and you see, oh my God, 25th anniversary, I'm in. Like, I was all in. I was all in.
I would hit 7 Targets in a day and 5 Walmarts and 3 Toys R Us's. Rest in peace. every time I got there, Rob would be walking out with
I was about to say it. No, we were battling. Yes, we were battling. We had many conversations on the steps at It's a Toy Store. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We were definitely battling for the bats and the army builders. Yes,
the army builders for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
So yes, that was a great line, and I did the same thing, Justin. Like my wife and I had just met my wife. We were dating at the time, and we'd go to Walmart in Bridgeton was big at the time. Like you could find anything at Walmart in Bridgeton, the city where I grew up. But I was hardcore into the thing too, dude. I was buying 20, 30 bats and Cobra Troopers and all that. But I agree with you. If they had just scaled them up to 6-inch, we would be the best line ever made. You know,
I'm not even a 6-inch collector, and this got me. And these early dogs got me into it. So if they had done it from the jump of scaling those amazing 4-inch figures up to 6-inch, you know, these are hard enough to find now. I can't imagine how popular it would have been. It seems like they learned, though, if you look, because they shied away from this weird look. And once Destro hit and the second wave, it feels like, oh, wait a second, maybe we should make these directly from the originals and not try and do some weird styles.
Right. And I think you're right. And Destro is a good example. And even Zartan looks like a good representation of his original vintage figure or whatever. So, yes, I do think that, you know, they are learning. But let's talk about the distribution first, because like you just said, they're very, very difficult to find. I've only seen Wave 1 once in stores. That's where my Duke came from. Even though the box was crushed, I still bought the figure, right?
Yep.
And then we went into, and you know, I agree with you guys. The weapons just are not. I read somewhere, now I don't know how true this is with weapons, that they couldn't put regular military weapons in because they had to pay a license to somebody for the weapons. So,
but they do it with Marvel Legends.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Marvel all have realistic weapons.
And if you look, it's kind of crazy. Like the Cobra Trooper from the Target wave came with a sniper that looks like the Nerf gun sniper.
Yes,
and Duke I think they're using the design from the Nerf guns. Does that make sense?
No, they are. They own Nerf. They're pushing them guns to look like Nerf guns. Yes, absolutely.
That's a weird angle for them, because I'm not a Nerf collector and I never will collect Nerf. So these aren't turning me on to run out to the store and grab Nerf guns because they look like the gun with my Cobra Trooper.
But just think about G.I. Joe Nerf guns, how they'll sell. You know,
right. Once you put it that way, yeah, man, that actually sounds cool.
So,
So once you label it G.I. Joe, all right.
Yeah.
So I had the same thought. Like, man, I'm kind of digging the figures, not digging the weapons, not digging the gold highlights on, you know, the suit. You can see good there. Snake Eyes I like. Snake Eyes was in Wave 1, right? Snake Eyes I kind of dug.
He's hard to mess up, though, man.
Yeah, he is.
Eyes, you know, you throw a dude in black, put the mask on, give him a sword and an Uzi. Snake Eyes, they have to really try hard to mess that figure up.
I totally agree.
They did a great job with Storm Shadow because he sucks. Like,
So far, the Arctic Storm Shadow you're referring to is the only one they've announced, right? Have we seen anything as far as what the real Storm Shadow V1 is going to be?
No.
Something.
Yeah, so they're holding that in reserves, man.
That Arctic sucks. I don't know.
There was a listing on some website for another Storm Shadow, and it might be movie based. I guess there's a new Snake Eyes film coming out or something. He's not going to be vintage based. He's going to be movie based.
They're dropping the ball, man. They should be hitting it with the vintage style. You know, Erica, you said it when you talk about the distribution. When 25th anniversary was out there, even though we were all going out, we were getting
anything we wanted. Yeah, we could find anything we wanted.
What changed from the distribution there, where you could find a ton of stuff, to now where you're literally punching old women in the aisle trying to find this stuff?
My take on that is, you know, they came out hot with Target, and Target bought up a lot of exclusive GI Joe figures and probably didn't order enough. You know, Target went all out on to jump to Marvel Legends real quick on the Storm and Thunderbird 2-pack. They were stacked up at every Target everywhere. They over ordered that on purpose because of how hot Marvel Legends is. And they took a bath on that because I just bought them for $25 each. You know, I got 6 sets out of Target at $25 each. So it's kind of like, do you sell out and have none, or do you overorder and and you're blowing them out? You know, it's a fine line that Target has to work out.
So Nintendo, it took a page from Nintendo. Nintendo, when they first announce a system or do a thing, they always short ship it, always, because they love the hype. And it, even though it sells out and it creates this crazy secondary market, the hype is real. And I think that maybe Target and Hasbro getting together, maybe they probably didn't know with that first wave how crazy it was going to be with the Trooper, but they had to know now between the Viper, which is out now, go find one, and Firefly. They could have overordered that, knowing how hot the previous 2 or 4. Was there 4 Target exclusives? Yeah, the first wave was 4 Target exclusives, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
They had
all the Cobra Island. Every Cobra Island has been a Target exclusive.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's Beachhead, a second Roadblock,
Trooper,
and Cobra Trooper. There was 3, I think. There was 3 of them. Yep. That was wave 2. Call it wave 2, or yeah, I think that was wave 2.
Exclusive is at least with exclusives. So I mean, knowing how they sold the Beachhead, they sold out immediately. Go find a Cobra Trooper. They probably had a good idea, but they, like you said, Rob, they don't want to overorder, and they're better off, creating the hype.
Yes.
The problem is, what the problem is, and you can't talk about modern action figure collecting, especially exclusives, without addressing this thing.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. To bring that up, you mentioned to me. I'm not trying to bring it up in front of you, but it creates this.
There's a guy on a cycle right outside my window. I don't know if you guys. I'm like hearing this. It's like somebody's revving up one of the GI Joe vehicles to let it release here. He's right outside my window. All I hear is, and he's like right outside my window.
So scalping. We'll get into that in a minute. But I have a story about the Cobra, the first Target exclusive Cobra Island wave, it was called, right? So using Justin, we've pinged back and forth about the the Pop Finder or the inventory checkers online. So the day that I found out that wave was hitting Target, I ran it through Pop Finder and it said there was, I think, 4 Cobra Troopers at my Target in Manahawkin, right? I was tired that day and didn't want to get up, but my wife offered to go to Target for me, and she was there at 8 o'clock I woke up at 7 and ran it through and it said there were 4 Cobra Troopers. So my wife went to that Target and she said there were 5 or 6 guys waiting in line. They had no idea she was there for GI Joes, right? So as soon as the doors opened, she charged back to the aisle and there was 1 Cobra Trooper hanging up and she grabbed it. To this day, I only have 1 Cobra Trooper, that one.
You're lucky.
She's a keeper. She's a keeper, bro.
Yes.
She took care of you right there.
She ran in front of everybody, and then they called up to her, and she had the Cobra Trooper in her hand, and they were all pissed off. So to this, and I
remember the time. I can't remember. Maybe Power of the Force in the '90s, where dudes were waiting in line for these stores to open to get action figures.
Yeah.
But I need 19 more. I need 19 more troopers. What do you do? I'm not spending $150 per trooper.
Well, no. I got a little take on scalping. Like as far as somebody walking into a Target and buying them all, I'm not against it. I'm not against that aspect of it. It's from being a business owner, from being a collector, I see it all because I would have bought them all. Whether being a business owner or being a collector, a Cobra Trooper, I would have bought them all. I would have bought all the Dukes. I would have bought all the Roadblocks because it's a way of Some people, it's a way of making their life. Some people just flipping to support their habit. Some people just like to hold stuff. I don't have an issue if you're not there first. I understand Target's stance on limiting how many you can buy because they want to try and get as many consumers. There's only friggin' 8, so your 8 people are going to be happy. The next 30 behind you aren't,
Well, people who come in to grab this one thing are going to go buy a thing of milk or a thing of toothpaste while they're there.
And
if
we're
one
not.
guy buys them all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I agree. Rob, I agree with you. I can't knock the hustle. It's these people, the people who are going and scalping and waiting and driving to do it, God bless them. I can't take the stress. I get stressed out the minute I walk in. I'm looking in people's carts, dude. Like, oh, you got G.I. Joes in there? Like, I'm mad at people. The people I blame for now listen, you go buy a G.I. Joe for $20 and you want to sell it for $40. You want to double your money, right? Cool. You're trying to sell a $20 G.I. Joe for $200. Part of me hopes you get ass cancer.
Oh, wow.
But the real villains are the people that pay the $200 and enable these.
Without a doubt.
Look, I swear to you guys, if I found a case of Vipers tomorrow, Rob would get one, you would get one, I would get one. And I'd probably keep the second one, not going to lie.
Well, you're an army builder like I am. Yeah. It's not in it for the dough.
Right. But even Justin and I have pinged a bunch back and forth here over the last couple of weeks. And I was in Pennsylvania, Rob and Justin, and taking my brother to a doctor's appointment. And I hit 5 targets. They all said Cobra Troopers were in stock. Cobra Vipers were in stock. There were none in stock. So along with the scalping, and for Firefly and Cobra Viper, the new target wave, I was told at my target, the girl actually said, my manager wants these too. So, and I've heard horror stories, the Target employees are actually not letting them get to the shelves. This is not a good situation. Then there's another situation where a bunch of guys ordered Cobra Troopers or Vipers online or whatever, and they get them in the mail, and they're Ghostbusters figures. They're opening up their box expecting their Viper, and they're getting Ghostbusters, Hasbro Ghostbusters. There was a guy at the Target warehouse shipping, knowing about this scenario, keeping the Viper and putting in a Ghostbuster figure. Now that's pretty shitty.
No, it is. But look,
it comes into play.
Yeah, it is. But where there's opportunity, there's going to be people taking advantage of the opportunity. If you could flip money, you flip money. The guy probably ain't even a G.I. Joe collector. He just knows that they're selling for $100 each.
Mm-hmm.
Target's paying him $15 to ship packages. Well, he just packed up $800 in friggin' figures by flipping a couple things.
I can't knock them up. If you boil it down, really, there's so much demand.
There is.
That there's so little supply that the fault really comes down to the agreement Hasbro and Target have together. They created this. You know what I mean? And that's if there's a blame, that's where the blame is.
It is. I agree.
If you're expecting the friggin' $15 stock guy to have some kind of conscience, come on,
Mm-hmm.
Or the Target manager. Most of the time,
them too.
These things are not hitting the floor.
No.
So I went to Vineland Target. Here's I tried twice in one day. The stress was so much. I was like, I'm done. That's it. I went to Vineland Target. I was in the toy aisle, grown man, the 100th time probably asking the toy kid stocking the shelves, hey, where are the G.I. Joes? And there was an older lady next to the kid stocking. And she turned to me and she had a Target thing on. She's like, oh, we don't carry G.I. Joe. And I said, no, you definitely carry G.I. Joe. And she's like, no, I'm the toy manager. We don't carry it.
Oh.
So, dude, I'm not patient like you are, Rob. So I immediately called her out and said, oh, so you're selling that shit. You it's never hitting the shelves. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, yo, I'll be honest with you, Justin. It's the Millville Walmart. I don't think there is one in Vineland. I mean Target, the Millville Target. And
Millville. Yeah, I'm sorry, Millville.
I
It's
was
all-
already there that morning.
It's all singing.
Rob was already there. Rob already got him. No.
I was the first one in store that day when they got released. I talked to the guy. I was like, "Yo, the GI Joe, man. I'm looking for the Cobra Vipers." The kid was like, "They're coming out Sunday. They're going to be on the shelf Sunday." All right, I'll be here.
Meanwhile, he called me.
No, you called me. I get halfway home,
Yeah.
and he says they're at the Brick Seeker says they're in Millville Walmart, right? I mean Millville Target right now. Go back. One in stock. I'm not going back.
No, you can't, dude. I mean, there's a point where you just look like a crackhead old man looking for toys.
Yeah.
No, I got finger fucked by the 15-year-old stock guy. That's what happened.
He did. But you know, when I took my brother to his doctor's appointment, I spent
No Vaseline either, man.
Yeah,
He just went
exactly.
straight in there.
Dude, I had to
He got
spend
me.
$30 in gas just getting on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, getting off the Turnpike, going to this Target and going to that Target. Dude, I spent $30 in gas just trying to find this stupid thing.
That's part of it, though. You know, I never look at the gas part of it because it's
Yeah, but them tools are getting out of hand. It's
sure.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
listen,
it's
10
one thing
years
going
ago-
to your local Target. It's another thing, you know. So I'm done that. Like I'm not doing that again. Like I don't want to. $100 in tools just ain't going to do it for me. But so
When we were doing this with the 25th anniversary, there was at least some payoff with the thrill of the hunt. Right now, the thrill of the hunt is nothing but stress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I hit 7 targets and I find one Viper, I'll feel all right.
Me too.
But dude, doing it and finding nothing.
Zippo. Now, one of the other up when I went to my wife works in Howe, New Jersey, up by Brick and Howe. So when Pop Finder said there was a case of 6 Fireflies, I think the next day we drove up there. Still said they were in stock, and talked to the girl, the toy person there. Oh yeah, we have them. We have a case of Fireflies in the back. They're in the back, but I can't get them. I said okay, you can't get them. So my son was with us. My wife took him to the bathroom at the time, and she came out, and I said, let's double team her. So we went back. We asked again, will you go back and get the Fireflies? We drove 45 miles for. I'll buy the case from you.
And you admitted they're here.
Yeah.
You admitted they're here.
Yep, they're there. They were there. No, I can't. I said, okay, let's talk to a manager, please. Same thing. We're not allowed to put them out. So you're getting the runaround no matter what. Like you can't even. That was the only time for this new wave, Firefly and Cobra Viper, that I knew that something was in stock. I didn't know if a Viper was. They said 0 Vipers, and we got confirmation that they did have a case of Fireflies. I said I'll give her $20. I don't care. No, she wasn't budging.
No.
Well, thankfully, you know, I run a toy store, so I'm hoping at some point, you know, somebody comes in with a collection to sell, and I'll just, you know, pocket the Viper. I'll embezzle that shit.
A lot of people are getting frustrated.
I'm going to be able to find one now.
Yeah,
I refuse to pay eBay prices. I'll die before I.
Yeah.
Now, this is the big problem, and this happened. I don't think Hasbro's thinking about this aspect of it, and this happened to me with Star Wars Black. Once I miss a couple figures, because I'm a completist.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's too hard for me to find a couple figures, exactly, Rob, I'm done. I'm out. The whole collection goes, and I'm not collecting anymore. And if that happens with this Viper, if it goes on for like 2 months, or another one drops and I can't get it, I'm done with this collection, man. I'm out.
Well, just like the Trooper, they're going to re-release it with less accessories. But I don't give a shit about that. You know, they're going to do it with the Viper. They're going to make their money, Justin. Believe me.
Oh, no doubt. Love reusing the molds.
Yeah. They're shipping straight cases of these Vipers. Just like I ordered 2 cases of the Troopers. You know, they're gonna. You know, I don't know when they're going to get released, you know, but I know they're coming. So I'm not even worried about Cobra Troopers anymore. And the minute I can order Vipers, I'll do the same thing.
I think the Vipers are coming. I think we're going to be able to order them.
Oh, my God. With demand, that's happening right now, they'd be so stupid to not ship cases of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Army Builders is what GI Joe is about, man.
And that brings us right into is GI Joe the ultimate Army Builder line?
Yes. That's an easy yes. I mean, think about Legends. You can have a ton of AIM soldiers and Hydra guys, but how many do you really need? For some reason, GI Joe. I mean, I guess it happened. Okay, when I was a kid, and stop me if I'm talking too much. Just say shut the fuck up.
You're good.
But when I was a kid,
shut the fuck up, Frank.
Right. Listen, me and him are very much alike. When I was a kid, my mom would buy me one bad guy, and I would say, "Mom, I need a bunch of those," and she was like, "We already have one." So when 25th hit and I had my own money, I went fucking balls to the wall.
Me too. I did too.
Ended up with hundreds of Army Builders.
You were. I remember, Justin. Not to cut you off. I remember you being a little bit ahead of ACBA. In the fact of going in the woods and setting up dioramas and I remember seeing, I don't know, 100, 200 bats, lined up. I remember you hunting them down, man. I remember you were early, man. You were early with that shit. You loved it.
Absolutely.
I didn't get that far. I think I bought about 20 of each, 20 or 30 of each Army Builder.
No. I went. No, I still have hundreds of bats. Hundreds. They're my favorite Army Builder. Dude, when they do them in 6-inch, I might have to sell my car. I don't know how I'm going to afford it.
And the GI Joe being the ultimate Army building, GI Joe Classified, and it's not just like a Cobra AIM soldier or Hydra soldier. You're going to get a Cobra Trooper, a Cobra Viper. You're going to get the Alley Viper. You're going to get the bats. You're going to have multiple characters that you want to Army build.
And I bet you money they're going to do a general GI Joe Trooper.
Green shirt.
Yeah, green shirt, a grunt or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, think about it. I guess I'm sure that there are Army Builder guys with Star Wars, right? But if you go look online, if you look at people's collections and displays, to me, maybe I'm just more plugged in with GI Joe, but it seems like when you see people's armies spread out, the GI Joe ones are always the most massive ones. I've seen some massive Stormtrooper, collections, but I think there's more GI Joe Army Builders out there than.
You saying that, I don't think there's as many different opportunities to Army build in Star Wars as there will be in GI Joe. I'm saying the amount you call all Army Builder, basically just a couple of guys here and there, but basically it's you want the troopers. I want the troopers. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, me too. Until they do bats, and they're gonna sell my kid into slavery to buy 1,000 of them.
We're gonna be running into each other in the stores again, man.
On the back of the box, like the new ones I'm seeing, they are showing Alley Viper and Major Blood, so it looks like the Alley Viper might be the next one.
I hope they're done with this exclusive bullshit, man. I'm done with the exclusive.
No, that is the exclusive though. What he's talking about is the picture on the back of the Cobra Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the poster, there's different locations that they're changing on the back of that on the back of that packaging, and they're adding to the poster of figures that are
adding characters to the roster.
Cobra
Island. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So they expect it to be
He's cool, but I got to be honest. I wish he was more, version 1 looking without the vest and all. Not to be a nitpicker, but there is a better way to do him.
No,
and guess
not
what?
nitpicking.
Fortnite did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Is actually better than the Cobra Island Firefly.
What is that Fortnite figure, Justin? What is that? Oh, wow. Holy shit.
I didn't know it existed. I was, in Target being a crackhead, and I turned around just walking up and down the aisle. Because, when you can't find what you want, you just start looking around. And I was like, oh, my God, man, that is to me, a better version of Firefly than Hasbro did.
Yeah, man, that's pretty damn good. Wow, I like that.
A lot of people are using that as their main Firefly.
Wow.
Is it worth anything? Maybe I'll trade it for a Viper.
I don't know, but I'll keep a lookout for that, man.
But,
you know,
a lot of people are selling their collections right now because they're disgusted with the exclusives. They're disgusted with the Hasbro distribution. I'm seeing collections going up, all the figures they have, from Wave 1 to Baroness to...
it's too early.
But people are selling right now.
It's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen too. I mean, I get that. Like I said earlier, my mind goes the same way. Once it gets too hard, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a modern toy collection, man. These are not rare Power of the Force Star Wars from 30 years ago. You know what I mean? So chasing this stuff and paying that kind of money for it just doesn't make sense to me, because it'll never hold that value ever.
No.
Right. And like like you said, when you go to 20 targets in a weekend and you come back with Zippo, 0, nothing, that's not fun. That's just not fun.
It's the opposite of fun, bro.
Yeah, if I had one is all I'm asking to find, right? And then we'll go from there. But you can't even find one.
No, one feels like victory.
Mm-hmm.
All day, I drive around all day. I come home with one, I'm victorious.
Yep.
And they're also pulling something that they should have learned from Marvel Legends. I'm sure you both know that they're doing running changes in the line now with Duke and Scarlet and Roadblock, and that was already done with Marvel Legends on the return of Marvel Legends. That was one of the main things they did, was running changes halfway through the line where they would break up the cases and put a different figure in or change the color on the figure,
Mm-hmm.
and it sucked. It sucked. This strategy they're doing right now sucks. I don't know why they're doing it. They took a lot of heat for it. They stopped it, and now they're doing it with Joe.
No.
I don't get it.
Are you saying it sucks because as a completist collector, you got to go back and buy the figure again, or are you upset because the newer version is actually better and you're stuck with the old version now?
Both. There's lots of different aspects to look at it. Even finding these fuckers in the stores, you can't do it. So now it's like Dorkside Toys and Big Bad, Toy Store. They're not listing the changes. They're just saying we have a Duke for sale, and you don't know which one you're getting.
I was just going to say that I had bought, I wanted Baby Yoda from the Black Series. They had a running change where the collar was a little bit different and it looked better. So I bought another Yoda thinking it was the different one on Big Bad Toy Store. I got the same one that I had. So there's
because you don't know how far back their stock goes.
Correct.
Or how new the stock is.
So I'm going to have to get lucky and run into these stupid things again to get the better Duke or the better Scarlet, because I don't want to take a chance with Dorkside Toys or Big Bad Toy Store right now, because they're not advertising, oh, this is the second release, or this is I don't know how they would say it, probably second release, but new and improved one, or variant or something, but they're not.
Let me ask you, because you Rob, or either of you guys, you're probably more tuned in than I am. The running changes on, say, Duke, is it completely different paint apps, or are they just toning down the boots? What's the deal?
Exactly. They're toning it down, and Scarlet is almost totally different
Scarlet
paint job,
looks
but
way better.
Yeah.
The Foosh has a review up.
That stresses me out. I pre-ordered this case to make sure I had it, and just like what you're saying, man, how do I make sure I get this?
Yeah.
Stressful collecting, man. It's stressful collecting. Collecting shouldn't be this stressful.
My mind's eye, though, from being around these toys for a while, I would say don't open your Cobra Island first release G.I. Joe stuff. I think it has legs as being collectible if the running changes become very common. I don't think they're ever going to redo Duke in the gold or them figures, and I'd say hold on to them for a while, and they might actually have some legs as being something that you can.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, even though I don't like them, but down the line, Cobra Island might be a collectible line from Target, and these gold accents might really explode, at some point,
See, I don't mind a running change or a variant if it's so different that it's almost Do you remember like the Marvel Legends Punisher where he had the skull face and he had the camouflage green on?
Right.
Nemesis.
And
Nemesis.
that's a variant, right? Or a running change of just a regular Punisher.
I think that was a running change, Justin. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it was.
If it was a running change, to me, that's cool because it's totally different.
Yeah.
Right. Or I think it was the variant of the lot, right? Because they had the regular Punisher and then I remember that wave in Walmart.
Yeah, it was a Walmart wave.
It was
yes.
a Walmart exclusive, right? So I think that was the one with the skull mask and different color scheme. I think that was the variant of the line.
Beautiful figure. It was a beautiful figure.
Change. Okay, I get it. All right.
But yeah, you just got to get lucky if you want the Scarlet looks way better. There's more photo real in the face, and they changed like the blue that nobody liked to a black. It's pretty different.
It's way better.
Who's it a photo of?
It's what they call the technology you're using to put the face apps on the figure.
So it's a better.
They call it photo real.
Photo real, like a better representation of Scarlet.
Yeah, I've seen it with the Marvel Legends photo real movie figures are amazing. The sculpt, but I don't think Scarlet's like based on an actual
right. Or the Star Wars, they do the same thing off of their actor or actress.
This is the first time Star Wars Black got me into it, but then, like I said, I got out because it was so hard. I missed like Bosk and a whole wave, and I was like, I'm out. I've never been a 6-inch guy, but this got me into 6-inch, and I'm like, well, maybe I could use a Captain America in here with my GI Joes, but I know that with a path that leads down, I can't do it, man.
That rabbit hole we keep talking about, get you down the rabbit hole.
Well, let me say this for those that don't know Justin, and a lot of people do because he owns one of the top toy stores in this area by far, Farpoint.
Part owner,
yeah, yes, part owner with my brother Frank Moz, who was on here. And Penelope's in there too. She's badass, man. She really runs a tight ship and keeps him in order. That's for sure. And he probably has. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while about it. One of the best GI Joe vintage collections out there by far. He really. Just talk about your collection a little bit, man. Before we get off this.
Well, I want to tell you, first of all, GI Joe is my thing. You know what I mean? Like the store's logo is based on GI Joe because GI Joe. We all had our favorite childhood toys. GI Joe was it for me. But before it got crazy in the past few years, and none of us can really put our fingers on why GI Joe is so hot right now because there's nothing to back it up. There's no TV show, there's no cartoon. But I put together, I was collecting for the past, 15 years. And I put together a really good collection. But Rob, I got to be honest, I had a lot of the Sears exclusives in boxes and a lot of rare stuff.
I know.
But we had the opportunity to buy some really nice property on the store. One thing we have with the store that not a lot of other toy stores have is we own our property. And I sold my entire boxed collection. I still have a loose master collection, loose complete figures, and most of the vehicles. But as far as all those boxes and stuff, man, listen, Lex Luthor said it. The one thing they're not making more of is property. So I can always find boxed toys. It's what I do for a living. But I sold most of that amazing collection. And it sucks, sometimes I see, people are like, oh, look, I got the Sears exclusive Dreadnought, and you got in your head, you're like, I had that. I used to have that thing. And, it is what it is.
You just dropped a badass review of the Defiant, and that was a great review. So that's a rare one. You still got some juice, bro. You still got some juice.
Yeah, of course. I still have like a really good loose complete collection. Yeah. But as far as like high end, boxes and stuff like that, it's all gone.
One thing I know, Justin, is you're more diversified in collecting now. You're not just a GI Joe collector. I know you have, stock in some comics, stock in some rarer toy lines. You're well versed. just a couple of years ago, you were just banging your head against comics just to learn them and learn them and learn them and learn them. And now you're pretty much a comic guy, so.
Mentor when it comes to it. And listen, I mean, this is just between us, right? Comics are a very good investment, man. You can't guarantee yourself anything, but certain comics are if you get a good deal, it's always going to be worth what you paid for it at least. And when it comes to cash money, I tend to burn through it. So I'm better off having stuff instead of money.
Same here. Yeah. And Greg, I'm sure would double take on that, man.
Yeah. Didn't vintage GI Joe have the best vehicles?
Oh, no doubt about it. Oh my God, think about it. From the flag.
Yeah,
which is
this flag. I never had that as a kid. Never got it for Christmas. Never got it.
But don't sleep on like the hovercraft or the
that was a great vehicle. Mm-hmm.
Like they went all out. Those guys, the people who were running Hasbro at the time, they just probably told their designers, have fun, because it really feels like they did whatever they wanted to do, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They were having fun designing that stuff. And when we did that Defiant review, can you imagine the balls it took for Hasbro to be like, yeah, we're going to make this gigantic plastic 3 vehicles, dude? It's insane. It's better than the flag. I'll take that to my grave, man. The Defiant is a better toy than the flag.
And unheard of now. If you wanted something like that, they'd put it on HasLab. You have to pay $700 for the thing.
I don't think the Defiant could do on HasLab. It's too intricate. I mean, listen, HasLab's doing some amazing stuff, no doubt about it. But, the only thing I guess I can compare it to is the sail barge, and there's so much more to the Defiant if you compare it to the sail barge.
The Unicron's pretty intricate. The Unicron.
You're right, man. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you can't skimp on a transformer.
Yeah.
But man,
you're. What did that Unicron sell for when you had to pre-order it?
$350.
$500.
I thought it was $350.
Oh, okay.
We all should have bought 6 of them. We all should have bought 10 of those things.
Yeah, we should have. Yep. Yeah, we definitely should have. But man, I have a lot of love for vintage GI Joe. Even I was buying things for the 25th anniversary from the vintage stuff. The blue Cobra rafts. Can't think of the name. The ATVs and various other things to go with the 25th.
Well, honestly, so I wasn't really actively collecting toys. I had a few McFarlane things back in like the early 2000s, but I wasn't like a toy guy. Once 25th hit, it did that thing where you see a toy, you remember your childhood, and it's like you're in. Mm-hmm. And once 25th is what got me back into collecting vintage, because I started getting the vintage vehicles to go with the 25th guys. So
think about what
sure a lot of people do.
Think about what you're saying right now, though, Justin. You got back into 25th because of vintage, because you had it as a kid. How many kids had 25th and now they're seeing a 6-inch? How many new collectors are, just think about that. That's something I never thought about, because I'm thinking, only 80 kids want these GI Joes.
If Timmy has a Viper in his hand in Target, Timmy's getting kicked in the throat, buddy. I'll get my wife to tackle that bitch.
I might do a snatch and grab. I don't know about kicking, but
oh look, it's Pokemon, and grab the Viper.
Now, talking about HasLab, do you guys have anything that I think it's ideal for GI Joe? I think it's, as far as a bigger project, that's something they can bring out 6-inch. Do you have any wants or a wish list?
Well, how cool is it that Hasbro is doing the HasLab thing, and we can actually sit here and dream? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
We would have these conversations before HasLab was around, and we thought they were just like the most ridiculous things in the world. But now, dude, like a freaking 4-foot Sentinel is a reality. Yes. So these dreams are potentially like things they could do, which is crazy. It's a crazy time to be living right now with toys like this.
Yeah.
If they did a GI Joe thing, I guess I'd have to choose two different things because I want 3 3/4 scale stuff, and I wouldn't mind some 6-inch scale stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think 3 3/4, it'd be a missed opportunity if they didn't do a flag, because there's not a lot to a flag if you think about it. It's just decks and a little building.
Sure.
And it's such an iconic. Everybody knows it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Right.
and I don't, dude, vintage flags are going crazy. So I think that would be a smart thing for them to do. But they need more 3 3/4 figures if they're going to do that. They're not going very hard on that scale yet.
Well, they did it with Star Wars. There's not a lot of 3 3/4. There is, but maybe more than Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They're not really going hard with 3 3/4 with Star Wars either. Star Wars Black's where it's at.
Yeah, and they just did the Razor, the
Razor
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And then it got blown up in the show. Spoilers.
Yeah,
As far as like 6-inch with GI Joe, like HasLab, man, I don't want to sound too ridiculous, but like a Sky Striker, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Or a Night Raven, one of the bigger jets would be really cool.
I'm right there with you. I was along those same lines. I was thinking a GI Joe Tomahawk.
Oh,
that might be doable, actually.
It would be 3 feet long. It would be
that would be sick. That would be mine.
What was the name of the tank that when you pushed it, you could make it go on its own? You pushed the cockpit phone.
There were two. The first one was the green one. It was the Mobat, and then they did a better like movable tank, the brown one, which was the Mauler.
Okay.
And that looked like an Abrams, like the M1, and it worked a little better. They had more money to throw at it then. But they're both awesome. The iconic one is the Mobat, the green one.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the one with the missiles on the back with the chick driver?
Wolverine with Cover Girl.
Wolverine, yes. That thinking it just popped in my head when you were talking about that. I had a lot of play value with that toy. It was just a lot of fun shooting the planes out of the skies. I would love to see that. We'll probably get a cycle and a his tank. I don't know.
A cycle that has nothing to do with GI Joe.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty terrible.
Oh yeah.
With Baroness.
Dude, just do the Ram. It's funny, they have the molds, and I don't think I think there's like a way that they could take a mold and blow it up. You know what I mean? I'm sure there is.
Right. There has to be. Yeah, absolutely. So along those same lines, you're talking about vehicles. What is your guys' wish list for the next couple waves of figures? I've always loved Shipwreck, and we're pretty sure Major Blood's coming for the Cobra, but Shipwreck, and there's so many though. Like I want the Dreadnoks, and I want Tomax and Zaymont. Probably Shipwreck and the twins would be my top 3.
Give me 4, Greg. Give me 4.
Oh man, let's go with it would have to be one of the Dreadnoks. I loved Night Thrasher as a kid. So give me Night Thrasher with the Dreadnought, the vehicle. I can't remember what the name of the vehicle was, but
Thunder Machine.
Right. Yeah, Thunder Machine. Yes, thank you. So that's mine.
I'll jump in. You guys are gonna laugh at me, but the one figure I got most play value at, because I was always in the freaking car. My mom, man, she had gas in her blood, man. We were just going all the time, and the seats were like a mountain to me. And I played with Snow Job. He was skiing all through the back of the car.
I have good memories of Snow Job too. My aunt bought him for me, who passed away in like 1999, and she never bought me many things, but like she bought me a Snow Job one day when she came home from work, and she also bought me a Clash of the Titans Perseus with the horse, So also can't think of that name. Pegasus, Perseus, and Pegasus. So Snow, I'm right there with you, dude. I'd be down for a Snow Job.
Snow Job. I want a version 1 Storm Shadow.
Yes.
I want Snake Eyes with the wolf, you know, and I want another army builder, man. I want to go another army builder. Maybe just a Joe Trooper, a green Joe Trooper, something basic. Yeah.
So
found them at Michael's. Yeah.
hold on, I got something to say. I'm ready for that Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
We're nuts. Yeah.
All right. So for me, it has to be a bat. I need bats. The only problem is I'm going to need 20 of them, but I got to have. And can you imagine with the modern accessories they do and the hologram chest? They would be, and they listen. Don't mess around. Every figure I'm about to say, I just want the 25th anniversary version blown up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Don't go crazy on me and make some crazy shit. I just want the original look at 6-inch. That's what I want. So bats for sure. V2 Snake Eyes, I got to agree, Rob, with the grenades and the sword. This one did come with swords, but a little more hardcore on the V2 look.
Mm-hmm.
I should look at that Snake Eyes because he's kind of like a weird cross between V1 and V2. He's not truly either one.
Right. No, I agree with you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. They're going to make a bat, and it's going to be Toys R Us exclusive in Canada.
Oh, God.
And I'm out. That'll just make it easy for me to just be out.
You can get your bats, but it's an exclusive to Toys R Us in Canada.
Oh,
you know what I would like? You know what I would really like? And this is more than 4, but I like the vibe of it. I wish they would do the OG 13 dead on. Oh my God! Or original Cobra Commander.
Oh yeah.
Rob, you wanted that for a while too. Rob hates this Cobra Commander, and I have to agree.
And he's done 7 versions already. Like, give me a break. Just give me one Cobra Commander where I could put a hood on or a helmet on, and he's the blue suit, and that's it. Give him a cape and a scepter.
Mm-hmm.
And I could put his gun on his back.
Yes. Listen, I don't care what they make as long as it looks like the OGs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all in.
The original 13 would be amazing.
That would be badass.
I would love that because I would set him up with the original 13 with him.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
That's all my heartstrings right there, baby. 13, man. That's.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wouldn't even know what to do.
I don't know though, because it's they're really into like style, and those guys are not style; they're just green.
Mm-hmm.
They're just green. Yeah, they're basic. They're basic. Yeah.
And come on, Hasbro, give us some weapons. Give us some regular weapons. No futuristic crap. Just original weapons. And Uzi.
Well, thinking about it, when Justin said original and all that, I'm thinking maybe they're doing this to have you buy weapon packs. They might do weapon packs.
I hope so.
That might be a thing. I don't know.
Snake Eyes' gun has a hole through it. It's terrible.
I never thought about this before, and I just realized it's probably going to happen. They're going to do retro carded 6-inch. They did it with Spider-Man and with Legends.
And Black Series, vintage and retro.
Oh my God.
Man, you just hurt my pocket, man.
Bro, I just gave myself the chills thinking about it because the GI Joe art is the best art.
Yeah, we got to help each other for this stuff coming out. We all got to be in contact and get it for each other if we see it.
Bro, we have been.
I know.
We're all still.
Yeah, we got to keep it up, man. We got to keep it up.
Greg, there's a difference with Justin, though. This is his livelihood. This is how he makes a life. So I understand. You get a pass.
As a collector, Rob, as a collector, I'm totally honest with you. If I found 3 Vipers in the wild, because I know it would reciprocate the other way, I don't care. Listen, I'll still be able to pay the bills if I sell if I give you guys a Viper at cost. You know what I mean? Scalping. Listen, it's never been, and you know this. I've never been one to go out and buy stuff off the shelves and scalp. The only time I buy off the shelves is when it's on clearance, and then it's game on.
Sure.
But as far as buying the scalp, Never been my MO. And I'm going to tell you why. There's a certain dude here in New Jersey it's his total thing. And when I was a collector, he turned me off to that so much that I just can't do it.
Yeah, yeah. I know you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm called. I don't need no deal. You
No.
know exactly.
Did you say porn stars?
And I can't knock his hustle. I can't listen. If I take myself out of it, I can't knock his hustle. But I remember when I was a collector before I had a store, and I would go to his store and I would say, "Dude, why am I giving you more than twice as much money for a bat?" Well, because I get there before you do. And I'm
He was
like,
a hustler,
geez.
man. He was a hustler.
Yeah.
You can't. Yo, he had the shit, man. He had the Marvel Legends. He had it all.
All the toy managers in his pocket.
He was
yeah.
I witnessed it. I witnessed it. He was bringing donuts and coffee to the Walmart employees.
Are you serious? I need to start doing that.
The Target toy manager worked at his shop on his days off.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he's a rude businessman, and he did his thing, man.
Can't knock it. I can't knock it.
Yeah.
No.
We're a totally different vibe.
Yeah, yeah. I guess we can wrap this up. Justin, I had a great time talking to you. You know, Anarchy Man, always. You know, love you to death, man. You know, I love you both. You know, me and Justin had a lot of heated discussions, and he almost killed me in Taco Bell parking lot one time.
That had nothing to do with toys, man.
No, that didn't.
Yeah,
but he
Justin,
still almost killed me in Taco Bell. You know, he almost killed me.
No, thanks for joining,
I
Justin.
locked my doors.
We really appreciate it.
You were standing there laughing, man.
Yeah, I was laughing my balls off.
I mean, everybody's got to understand. Everybody watching this, the three of us are sitting in a room together with no cameras. This is the same way we talk every time we're together. You know what I mean? Not that it's toys day in, day out, but this is just a natural conversation, man, that we always have.
It's fun. It's fun.
For sure. It's definitely fun. I'm gonna post links to your store, Farpoint, and some links to your, the Defiant, the review that you did, which was awesome, by the way. And man, we'd love to have you again, man, for sure.
Well, the next time they do a Target exclusive, let's get on and bitch about it some more.
Let's do it. I got to watch My Little Pony review that was just posted. I don't know much about them. I was telling Greg before we got on, but I'm going to learn. So,
I learned some stuff.
My wife loves My Little Pony, so I'll watch it with her too. So tell Penelope that Katie collects My Little Ponies as well. So
I absolutely will.
And Penelope, we miss you. I hope you can be on in a future one.
Yeah, for sure. If we can take something away from this, Hasbro, fix your distribution, please.
Yeah.
I like what Justin said. The supply and demand thing, though, is a real thing.
At least, and I'll end on this. My thoughts. At least fix the problem with pre-programmed bots being able to wipe out a pre-order inventory.
Yeah.
Make it so you have to prove you're a human to log in and pre-order. Because if you remember, the pre-orders got wiped out way before they hit stores.
They did.
Yeah.
They're gone in 30 seconds, if that.
That's a really good point that we didn't touch on, and we'll have to talk about next time is the online aspect of this. Yes. Yeah. You want to take us out?
Yeah, man. Thanks you guys for joining. I really needed to bitch about G.I. Joe Classified, so thank you so much for that. And we will talk to you next time. Rob, Justin, thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you soon.